Hi, Aries. Okay, so what you're meant to do around the big happy changes is with the Page of Earth in reverse, it really is about watching where you put your energy, because big happy changes are coming regardless. So you don't want to beat a dead horse. Like, don't keep trying to put energy into something that is changing anyway. It could be a relationship for you. Obviously, this is a love reading. It could be the way that you approach relationship. Maybe you being Aries, very fiery. You keep wanting to take charge of it. I can make it work. I can make it work. You're a very powerful individual. And what you're meant to do is, don't try so hard, Aries. Let love come to you. You have to be open to receiving. Many times, Aries individuals are so busy giving. You have such a fire and passion within you. You forget sometimes that it's okay to receive. It doesn't make you weak or vulnerable. It makes you more balanced. And then what you are meant to not do or stop doing, we have the Three of Earth. And so stop trying to get everyone on the same page. Again, it goes to this idea of the Aries putting forth so much effort. It's okay. You're allowed to be an individual, Aries. Here we have, this is, associated with Aries. So it may be you here. Knowing your power. You don't have to fix everybody. The emperor fixes his empire by knowing himself, right? He knows, and I say he because it's emperor, he knows what makes himself tick. He has incredible self-mastery before he goes out and tries to create the infrastructure for everyone else, the micro reflecting the macro and the macro reflecting the micro here. So the more that you are empowered, the more that you know yourself, take care of yourself, get in greater balance so that you are receiving as well as giving. That is what creates changes, the big happy changes that you're looking for. You're not wanting to continue in love where you're putting forth all the effort where it's another thing to do, to accomplish. You're wanting a beautiful feeling and energy of reciprocity, of trust and loyalty. And so there's a big emphasis here on not putting in a lot of effort, not worrying about if everyone's on the same page. It's okay to have your own needs and wants and desires here, Aries. And what we're can look forward to regardless is we have the Ace of Air here in the reverse. So again, I see that there's such a big emphasis here on not putting forth a lot of energy, because when the Ace of Air is in its upright, it's about taking command of the situation. New, epiphanies coming in, understanding the changes you want to make, and taking the initiative. But it's in the reverse. What you can look forward to regardless, just in the month of December here, is that there's maybe some confusion, hesitation here about where to put your energies. And going back to this is what you're meant to do. Consider the ways in which, consider where you put your energy, where you put your time, who you put your time and energy into, where you place your love. You're looking at big happy changes here. And they're happy changes. They're changes for the better. And the Emperor energy is, when it's in its upright, it's very stable, very secure. Again, incredible self-mastery. Mastery of your emotions, mastery of your body, taking good care of your health, the infrastructure here. But what you're looking at regardless, and we're going towards the end of the year, and sometimes it can be hard to focus on love and romance when there's so much emphasis on holiday and family and all the triggers and stresses that go with that. So very interesting for you there, Aries. I'm going to move on because I'm trying to keep these readings relatively short. So what you're meant to do or start doing, we have the Five of Swords. This isn't saying that you're meant to fight with others. It's what you're meant to do is walk away from the fights, walk away from the things that aren't working, walk away from any kind of situation here. Remember, we're talking about big happy changes in love and romance. This is specifically about your physical and sexual desires and needs. It's a card of change, right? We have the number 5. You're meant to walk away. Don't engage. Don't continually engage in situations in love, in romantic and, let's say, physical and sexual intimacy that don't feel reciprocal. Where you feel that someone is trying to dominate you in a way that doesn't feel sexy. It doesn't meet your needs physically. And what you're meant to not do or stop doing, we have the Temperance card in reverse. And this is an imbalance. It really is about trying to force things to work that don't. It goes back to the earlier spread I just did for you about trying to make things happen no matter what, right? Changes are here, and part of the changes for you, specifically Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is more reciprocity, more openness. Remember, being open, being able to receive, allowing things to be. It doesn't mean you give up. It doesn't mean that you're weak or that you're vulnerable. It means that you are allowing in the full power of the universe to come in and support you and help you with its incredible wisdom and knowledge that we as humans, we are just a tiny part of, right? So you have to create some opening here. And it looks like it's happening anyway. We had the big happy changes. And then what you can expect regardless, we have the Sage of Cups in reverse. So the Sage of Cups in reverse can be referring to a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, who may be in your life. And if it's not an individual, it is an energy of, I don't like it that much, but it's part of the growth. So with the Sage of Cups in reverse, in terms of how you get your physical needs met, your sexual needs met, it looks like you are still working upon this, because with the Sage of Cups in reverse, there's a lot of artifice. There's not the depth. There is someone who could possibly have a lot of emotional confusion as to what it means to be physically intimate with another. It could be you, it could be an individual, someone who isn't that trustworthy. And it looks like you are breaking these patterns, And it doesn't mean this person's always like that. It means that there may be, during the month of December, this energy present in the bedroom, or wherever you engage in physical or sexual intimacy. And it could be the stressors of the holiday season create this energy that everyone's kind of all over the page. This is not someone who's really available emotionally here. And so you can kind of look forward to that regardless, or expect that regardless. Just, it's not about trying to turn that energy around. It's about recognizing where it doesn't resonate with you anymore in terms of how you get your needs met, in terms of sex and physical intimacy, because you're walking away from this. And it takes a little bit of time to change. It is a 5 energy. We have big, happy changes. And this individual or this kind of energy is something that you are working to change within self and in your outer world. We also have the Fool card under the deck. This is a card of hesitation. So again, this is a process. We're working at change, and change always has that instability, back and forth. That's part of the process, the push and pull. So rather than beat yourself up if that occurs, the ego comes in to beat you up and says, "Oh, you're not doing it fast enough, or you are weak," or whatever your own egoic pattern is. That voice in your head that usually isn't pleasant. Give yourself a break, because it does take time to change patterns. And before you can change them, you have to recognize that there is something different that you're wanting for your life. So, okay, Aries, I'm going to close that out here. I hope you find that helpful. I wish you much love and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody.